Have you ever felt like you're just stuck in a loop? You know exactly what you should be doing, but for some reason, you just don't do it? Well, today, we're going to break that cycle. We're diving into the key lessons from the book The Art of Laziness by Library Mindset. Let's get right into it. So, what's the goal here? It's really simple. We want to help you go from just being vaguely aware that you're wasting time to taking real, immediate, decisive action on the things that actually matter to you. It's all about turning that knowledge into results you can see and feel. You know, the book opens with this quote from Paulo Coelho, and wow, it really hits you, doesn't it? It just cuts right to the chase. The clock is ticking, later isn't a promise, it's a hope. And this is our wake-up call. Okay, let's make this personal for a second. Take a moment and really, truly think about this. If you keep going down the same path you're on right now, what will your 80-year-old self look back on and wish you had done differently? Not starting that project, not taking that trip, not learning that skill? Hold on to that feeling, because that's exactly what we're here to change. To put things into perspective, the average human life is about 3,700 weeks long. That's it. When you see it like that as a finite number, it suddenly doesn't feel so infinite anymore, does it? It really makes you realize that every single one of those weeks has to count. So, how do we start making those weeks count? Well, the book's first big idea is all about what it calls the responsibility mindset. This is the absolute foundation for everything else. It's the core belief that your future isn't something that just happens to you. It's something you build, action by action, starting today. And as Winston Churchill put it, the price of greatness is responsibility. It's so easy to blame our job, our boss, the world for where we are. And sure, it might feel good for a minute, but it accomplishes absolutely nothing. The hard truth is, only taking action creates results, period. This slide really shows the daily battle we all face, right? Our brain is literally wired to choose the easy path, scrolling, watching TV, putting things off. It burns fewer calories, but real progress, real fulfillment, that comes from training ourselves to consciously choose what's best for us, not just what feels easiest in the moment. To drive this idea of self-reliance home, the book tells this brilliant little story. It's about a farmer who is getting anxious about harvesting his wheat, and inside that very field, a little family of sparrows had built their nest. So the young sparrows hear the farmer talking about how his sons are coming to cut the crops, and they're terrified. But their mother, she stays calm. She says, "Don't worry." And sure enough, days go by and nothing happens. Then the farmer says he'll hire laborers to do it. Again, the mother sparrow is calm. And again, nothing happens. Why? Because the farmer was depending on other people. And then, this is the moment everything changes. After all the delays, the farmer finally says, "That's it. I'm done waiting. Tomorrow, I'm coming to cut these crops myself." He finally took personal responsibility. And the second the mother sparrow heard that, she told her children, "It's time to go. Now the work will actually get done." The moral of the story is blunt, but it's so powerful. Nobody is coming to save you. You are your own rescue. And all of this leads to a simple but profound paradox. If you consistently choose the easy path, the comfortable path, you're setting yourself up for a hard life down the road. But if you choose the hard path now, the workout, the difficult project, the disciplined work, you end up creating an easier, more fulfilling life for yourself in the long run. Okay, so we've got the mindset down. That's step one. Now let's get practical. Let's talk about the actual tools. The book gives us a fantastic, simple toolkit with a few methods that can have a huge impact, and you can start using them literally today. First up is a concept called Parkinson's Law, and this one is a total game changer. All it means is that if you give yourself a week to do a 2-hour task, somehow it will take you the entire week. We've all been there. The secret is to flip this on its head and give yourself tight, aggressive deadlines to force your brain to focus. Think about it like this. You have a task. Your boss says you have 2 hours. You'll probably take a break, check your phone, and use up the full 2 hours. But what if they said you had to do the exact same task in 1 hour? Suddenly, there's no time for distractions, you just focus, and you find a way to get it done. You create your own urgency. Next up, the classic 80-20 rule. It says that for most things in life, roughly 80% of your results will come from just 20% of your efforts. So the most important question you can ask yourself is, what is my 20%? What are those few vital activities that truly move the needle? Find them and pour your energy there. The book also pulls in some amazing Japanese techniques. There's Ikigai, which is about finding your deep reason for being, making motivation almost automatic. There's Kaizen, the idea of making tiny 1% improvements every day that compound into huge changes. Shoshin tells us to approach things with a beginner's mind so we don't get bogged down by what we think we know. And then there's even Harahachi Bu, a physical hack, which is simply to eat until you're 80% full to keep your energy high. Let's just double-click on Ikigai for a second, because it's so powerful. It's your reason to get out of bed in the morning. People say it's found at the intersection of four things: what you love, what you're good at, what the world needs, and what you can get paid for. When your work lines up with your Ikigai, procrastination just kind of melts away. All right, we've talked about the mindset. We've talked about the tools. Now it's time to bring it all home. This is the final push, where we go from just knowing this stuff to actually doing it. We've all heard this famous proverb, and we often get stuck on this first part, right? It's that feeling of regret. I should have started investing sooner, or I should have learned that language years ago. It's too late now. But you know what? That's only half the story. And here it is. This is maybe the most hopeful and empowering truth in the entire book. The second best time is right now. You can't do anything about the last 20 years, but you have absolute 100% control over this moment. Today is the day you get to plant your tree.
And really, it all boils down to this single idea. The person you're going to be in a year, or 5 years, or even 10 years from now, that person is being forged by the choices you make today. Not yesterday, not tomorrow, but right now in this moment. So the only question left is, what will you start?